Okay. For the sake of the interview, what is your name?
My name is Ala Alzer,
Where do you patrol?
City of Rocky Mount.
And how long have you been an officer for?
21 years.
What sorts of things do you normally do when you're on duty?
Well, I begin my day with getting all my equipment loaded up in my patrol car and logging onto my computer for so I can get dispatched to calls, and then I start going to I patrol the area that I'm assigned.
Would you describe any of these days as really eventful, or are they normally kind of peaceful or not too much going on?
Some days are more eventful than others, so there's always something going on.
What sort of events are these?
Well, it ranges. Some days it could be a bunch of domestics going on throughout the city, or people arguing and fighting, or it could be people shooting at one another, or it could just be traffic accidents, crashes happening, or people shoplifting. It all depends really what society decides to do that day.
Are there any kinds of accidents or sort of these cases that you get more than others, like much more often than any of the others that happen?
You said much of the acts or accidents?
Like the accidents, like any of these sorts of things, you get a lot more happening than others?
We get we get a lot of domestics throughout the city. We get more domestic violence, domestic disturbances, people arguing with one another. So anything that happens within a family, either it be let's say mother-daughter, husband-wife, boyfriend-girlfriend, significant other, whatever it may be, we consider that as a domestic because they either live together or know one another. So we list it as a domestic. We get a lot of that throughout the day.
Are there any areas where these cases of violence, domestic violence, are there any ones where they occur more in like certain parts than other places?
No, I mean it's kind of evenly spread throughout the city. I guess you get it more. I guess you could say you get it more in the low income areas, as far as like housing, the projects or whatever. Those type of areas you get more calls there because of the atmosphere is there. But also, with that being said, even on the high end side of the city, you still get domestics there as well, but not just not as much as you would in a low income area.
So these sorts of crimes happen much more with low income families than with really any other group.
Mid to low income, yes.
What often are the ages of these people who are involved in such things? Like, are they younger, middle aged, old, maybe even children?
It's mostly the younger generation. Younger generation are the ones that's acting out more, being more violent. They're not worried about the repercussions that may occur by their actions or the consequences that may follow their actions.
Okay. Now, you did mention some things about gun violence. Over the years of being a cop, have you noticed any like changes in how frequent like cases of shootings or otherwise gun threats or violence have occurred?
Yeah, it seems like it's gotten more as the years progressed. My 21 years. Let's see. In the beginning, when I guess in the beginning it wasn't as much or as violent, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of my career, as I guess my career progressed through, as I progressed through my career, it started to get a little more violent, and I think it's because of the generational gap that's occurring, where you got the younger generation now that they don't care, basically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are from single parent households where they don't have the father figure there, or even if they have both parents there, the lack of discipline is not within the household. So the kids are able to disrespect their family members, mom, dad, whoever it may be, without repercussion from a parent.
So would you say that this kind of behavior may also be, in general, more of a contributing factor to a rise in gun violence that's really been in America, especially over the years?
Yeah, I would think that if I would say yes, because I think that if kids, and I base it on the generational
like values
statuses of people. Yeah, how like, okay, I'm in my 40s right now. There's some stuff that when I was growing up, my parents instilled in me. Of course, we didn't have the iPad or Apple phones or cell phones or stuff like that. But now, kids growing up these days, they have their iPad, their Xboxes, their phones, and it's more of a they're more worried about public perception rather than doing what needs to be done or what's the right thing to do. So I think.
Oh, keep going.
I'm sorry. So I think people are more worried about public perception, trying to be what others are rather than being themselves and doing what's right, and then the lack of discipline in the house or lack of role models in the kid's life.
Mm-hmm. So this actually ties to another question I had. Have there been any local crimes that you think or that appear to have been linked to social media usage? Like maybe being caused by that, or a certain interaction prompted someone to do anything? And if so, can you cite any examples?
Yeah, there's so like, again, being that day and age, people always resort to social media. The younger group of people, they want to show off, I guess, online, talk trash to whoever. To whomever they're having problems with, rather than handling one-on-one, face-to-face, or trying to talk through the issues. They'd rather go to social media, draw up a crowd, and how kids are these days. They say, "Oh, did you see so-and-so say this about this guy on social media or Instagram?" Let's say, for example, on Instagram. Oh, he's got a post on Instagram that he called him this. And it's just that it adds fuel to the fire, because people, like I was saying earlier, people are more worried about the public perception. Or if I don't say anything now, they're going to think I'm a punk. So I got to say or do something to show the public I'm not a punk, or I'm not scared of this person. So I think it just adds fuel to the fire, amps the situation up more than it has to be. So yeah, I think social media definitely plays a big role in a lot of these things.
Do you think that there's actually more dangerous to having like an online presence than actually just a physical, real life kind of
I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Like you were mentioning about how like people go to Instagram or whatever, drop a crowd. So with that, do you think that there's actually more of a danger of having an online presence that's not necessarily physically in front of someone, as opposed to having that actual real life kind of connection?
Yeah, I think it's the real life connection. I think it's going to play out differently than the social media or online the life, because, well, I guess it's like a little bit of both. If I have a problem with somebody, I probably won't be scared to confront them face to face, but let me go behind my keyboard and my computer screen and confront them through that way rather than saying to their face. I think so. I think it's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I think it'll be better resolved face to face rather than going to social media where you got the crowd compared to one-on-one private conversation, or whatever happens and whatever's said there. It's there. That's it. Nobody else. You don't have a crowd seeing everything.
Also kind of connecting to social media, since it seems that this younger generation is more connected to it than really anyone else. Have there been any cases where we've had to deal with crimes involving youth violence, especially with guns being involved?
Yes, that's almost daily occurrence here.
Wow, youth gun violence?
Yes.
Would you say it's even more present than like it actually being between adults?
Yeah. I say that because the kids, they know that if they get caught, they're under 18. They basically get a slap on the wrist through the judicial system.